everybody. Welcome to Round the Twist, episode 367. It's September 22nd, 2019. We're into fall. Yay! You might hear, just a little update, you might be able to hear from my dulcet tones. A little lower than normal because last week, week prior to that, the kid, I know we had talked to last time I recorded about the family got taken down by a GI bug thanks to Gabe. I got the kids both, Tara had a cold about the same time, passed it to Gabe who gave it to me. It didn't manifest in the form of a cold but in the form of laryngitis. So last Wednesday I was beginning to squeak and didn't really have a full voice. Thursday, gone. Went to urgent care, got a course of some prednisone, which has worked for me in the past when this has happened. I am now on day 4. I have my lower register back, so I thought I'd record. But when I talk normal, so this is me trying to talk in my normal voice. I still sound like I'm like a prepubescent boy. So here we go. Lots of coffee. I don't even remember what kind that is, but man, it's good. It might be caramel apple. Not sure. Anyway, it's from San Marco and it's delicious. So you didn't come to hear about how I'm falling apart and, losing what's going on. You came to hear about the grafting, right? So let's jump right into what's on the needles. First thing that I've been working on is Sarah's Joker and the Thief shawl. So this is The Joker and the Thief by Melanie Berg. That's available over on Ravelry. It is not a free pattern, it is a paid pattern. And I've made a bit of progress. So I took this with me last weekend when we went back to meet aforementioned Sarah in Grand Island. And yes, I showed it to her. Yes, she swooned over it and fell in love. And I was like, okay, good, because it's your Christmas present. So I put in a little progress keeper. For some reason, I didn't knit on this the whole time the weekend we were in Grand Island. When I'm the only adult in the car, I have no knitting time. So even though it was like 5.5 hours there and 5.5 hours back, that's 11 hours that I did not get to knit out of the weekend. And there wasn't a whole lot of knitting time while we were there either because of the pool and food and visiting and winding yarn, which we'll talk about in a minute when we get to various and sundry. So we're talking about what I'm actually knitting. So this is The Joker and the Thief by Melanie Berg. Like I said, it's available on Ravelry. I am using Fiber Optic Yarns, both their 6-pack, which is their cashmere yarn, cashmere with a K. It's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. This is a 6-skein gradient, their 6-pack. And I'm also using, so sorry, a full skein of the same yarn in sterling for the background color. The color of the gradient that I chose is called Renaissance, and it's very similar to their Rouge to Cerulean color, but it's formulated to be a 6-pack. So like I showed you guys a couple weeks ago, this has a lot of ends. Look at all those dangling ends. But I'm working my way up. I am now to the thicker strips. Everything is coming out really blue. I don't know why. But the gray is kind of a steel gray. It's coming out much more electric blue. That is so weird. Starts with a burgundy, goes slightly darker, then to a purple, then to a royal blue, then to the kind of cerulean color. And I'm going back and I am on color 3 of the wider stripe, which is the kind of the royal blue, not royal blue, but kind of the amethyst purple that's in the middle. It looks blue. That is amethyst purple right there. I don't know what is going on with my camera today, but it's being weird. You can see I put in a little stitch marker or a progress keeper, which I will now move up. That's from Progress Keepers by Melia Bella, I think is what it is, over on Etsy, which I love. Love these so much. She does such a good job, and I need to get more because I can't find, I know one of them is in my big hexagon blanket. I don't know where the other teardrop one like this went to that has a blue stone in it. Not sure. I'm going to have to hunt for it. So, knitting it up on a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. And if you do this shawl, FYI, you're definitely going to want pointy needles. So I have my signature fixed circulars that have a stiletto tip on them, and it's still, still trying to, doing those crossed stitches. See those? It's blowing out the color, but like those? Yeah, those are hard. Going just across and back on that takes just as long as doing the garter stitch part, which is 6 rows. Sometimes twice, and oh my goodness, it's just so fiddly. It's going to be worth it because it's gorgeous. But currently, I stopped knitting on this because I couldn't wrap my head. I don't know why, I was in a space. I just couldn't wrap my head around carrying the background color up the side of the work. I don't know why, I was just like, I can't deal with it, I can't, and just threw it in the bag and ignored it for about a week. So, I've made a bit of progress. I'm into this, like I said, the whiter stripes of the color versus when we had the whiter stripes of the gray with the contrast colors down here. And the asymmetrical shawl, but there's the top. So that's how it's gonna look. This is one of the corners over this side. So that's where I'm at on that. I got quite a bit done last night while hubby and I were watching Doctor Strange for the umpteenth time because we couldn't decide what we wanted to watch. Well, he wouldn't decide what he wanted to watch, and Marvel movies are always a safe bet, so we popped that in. Other thing, the thing I did work on last weekend when Sarah and I were together is hubby's fall socks. So I know I just finished a pair of socks for him, his Blue Moon socks. But, or Blue Moon Rising, I think I said. He needed another pair to get him up to my standard of a pair a year. So this is, again, my plain 64 stitch on US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter needles. Knitting the round, top down, heel flap, heel turn, done. And this color, which is showing up beautifully, of course, on the monitor. This is Jonna Gold. It is Blue Moon Fiber Arts socks that rock lightweight in the Jonna Gold colorway. And this, kind of like the other ones, it's just kind of flying off the needles because it's mindless. I can do a sock like this, no problem. I don't know why. The heel flap took me a while on this one. But I just got everything picked up. I'm working my way across the instep, and yeah, this is kind of my mindless take-along knitting everywhere that I go. This is riding along in my purse. That's, and I don't have a progress keeper to clamp onto that to show where I'm at, so so sorry. So sorry. I'm hitting the coughing stage of post-laryngitis. So along with the dulcet tones comes the hacking. And I'm not sick, I don't feel bad, I just didn't have a voice, and now the recovery. So that's everything that I've been working on. Kind of pathetic, right? No spinning, no stitching, no nothing else. But various and sundry. Something that did help. And so when my friend Sarah was staying with us last summer and helping us watch the kids and nannying and kind of being our caretaker, basically. She took care of all of us, and she is like the awesomest friend ever. She ran out of craft projects for while she was here, because she also comes from a very crafty family. So she had brought several things with her, and she ran out of stuff to do. And she was watching me do the hexagons for my giant stained glass hexagon blanket. And she's like, I could probably do more centers for you if you have the pattern. I was like, heck yeah, I have the pattern. Here you go. And handed her one of my hexagons so she could get her gauge to match mine, which she ended up, so I normally stitch or hook on a crochet on a G hook, or excuse me, on an F hook, which is a 3.75 millimeter hook for that blanket. She had to go up, her gauge is different enough from mine, she had to go up to a G hook in order to get it to work. So before that, I think that spring, my parents had been out and my mom had brought, I had said I was running out of Blue Moon scraps. So my mom had said she doesn't really care for knitting with Blue Moon anymore. And I'm kind of going, Mom, are you nuts? I love Blue Moon. I'll take it off your hands. So she had this tote that was probably, I'd say 18 inches to 2 feet deep, 18 inches wide, and probably a foot. So 1.5 by a foot by 2 feet. And she brought that out and helped me. She was my skein winder holder person. So she held the skeins as I wound off little, I think like 20 gram balls off of each of these skeins of Blue Moon Fiber Arts that she had in her stash that she just wasn't going to knit with. So the last time I was back home in February for my uncle's funeral, February, March, sometime this spring, she just gave me that tote full of Blue Moon and said, here, use it. I'm not going to use it. Go ahead and have it. So I spent the weekend, took my Swift and ball winder along to the hotel where we met Sarah at last weekend, and wound all of this yarn into balls so she wouldn't have to deal with it when she got back home to Minnesota. She's already started crocheting hexies for me, so I'll just be able to throw them onto the blanket, just join them with the black, and it'll be awesome. Because I haven't touched that blanket in quite a while either. Yeah, that's basically it. That's everything I have, guys. I hate to tell you, I'm kind of running on empty. I don't know what it is. I just, you know, you hit those points where you're just like, it's not even that I don't want to, it's I don't have any more to give, right? We all have those times, don't we? Between work and then home to get the kids and get them to swim lessons and do everything else and make sure there's dinner on the table and get them to bed and then get hubby's dinner when he gets home and everything. I've hit the point that in the evenings I don't have time, or I don't have it, whatever it is. It's not that I don't want to knit or to craft. I don't have anything more left in the tank. I'm running on fumes here lately. So I was very happy to get the bit of knitting done that I had gotten done just in the last week and a half. Oh, I give up some days. So there you have it. Dulcet tones, running on empty. Hubby's upstairs napping. The kids are resting. I'm going to take however long I am blessed with right now. I'm going to put new nails on. Like I showed you, I'm Color Street that I'm selling now. I just took off my last manicure. It lasted 11 days and probably could have held on for longer, but the growth was starting to bug me and I wanted something different. So I took everything off yesterday, so I have naked nails. And now I need to put something new on. I'm going to do an application video over on my Facebook VIP group. Get that done, which I might do it later because I just want to have some time for me. It's what's going to happen. So, guys, take times for yourself. Fill your tank. Starting to see it's really important. Like more than I ever thought. And take care of you, okay? Till next week. Happy knitting.